This is Hazrat Kshatriya from IIT Kanpur. Welcome to Pragna Institute. Now we are going to discuss engineering mechanics. Okay. As a first class, first we need to go through the contents. I already recorded one video regarding the contents. If you miss that lecture, then anyhow we need to teach the contents as a beginning. Okay. First, go through the contents. Contents of engineering mechanics. Introduction, system of forces, stresses, free body diagrams, friction, plane motion, projectiles, kinetics of rigid bodies, collision, center of gravity of the body, and centroid of the cross section. Moment of inertia. Here we are having two moment of inertias, mass moment of inertia and area moment of inertia. Finally, virtual work. As an introductory course, we need to discuss the fundamental definitions in engineering mechanics. We will start with the definition of engineering and mechanics and different technical terms. And engineering mechanics we can discuss in detail in the introduction class. Okay, first get the boundary of the syllabus. Okay, boundary of the course. Before going to start any course for GATE or any competitive exam, first you should know what are the topics we need to cover and what extent we need to study. That is called boundary of the course. Okay, you should be within the boundary. One more thing is, don't do research. Okay, while preparing for GATE, no need to follow many textbooks. My notes is more than enough to prepare for all competitive exams. Keep it in mind. To build these notes, I already done lot of work. Okay, I have gone through so many textbooks. Finally, I build the content. Okay, so believe that my notes is more than enough to prepare for all competitive exams. Focus on all the lectures, then you will definitely improve. And have patience. Okay, so spend time. You will definitely improve slowly. No need to hurry actually. Okay. Here, system of forces. Okay. Here, first you will be having a set of system of forces. Then we need to convert system of forces into resultant system of forces by calculating the magnitude of the resultant. Okay, now we are having parallelogram law, cosine rule, sine rule, and resolution of the force method to determine the magnitude and direction of the resultant force. That is second chapter. After converting this particular resultant system of forces, convert it into force couple system by using Virignan's theorem and principle of transmissibility. Then beams, classification of the beams. Anyhow, this is funda for strength of material course. Here we'll focus on support reaction calculations. Those support reaction calculations will be helpful in trusses. Everything is interlinked. Okay, so here trusses, we know one question will definitely come in GATE. Here we are having two methods: analysis of trusses by method of joints and method of section. Okay, two logics. I think we may spend around 8 hours, I guess. So many list of questions. I think you will enjoy trusses, analysis of trusses. Free body diagrams. Okay, it is very important for engineering mechanics course. As a mechanical or civil engineering student, you are in position to draw free body diagram in a proper way. I will give you one table. By that, you can happily draw free body diagram for system of rollers, blocks, pulleys. Put together one set actually, one table is enough. These three topics are common for both mechanical and civil engineering students. And free body diagram for spring mass damper system. It is only for mechanical engineering students. It is drawn to determine equation of motion in case of vibration chapter. Take it. Friction. It is a fundamental topic. Okay, you should have full command on the friction. Then only you can incorporate frictional force in free body diagram. Next, plane motion. Here, stresses will come in static part. Complete thing is rigid body mechanics. All bodies in engineering mechanics assumed to be rigid body. Basically, it is a rigid body mechanics. plane motion and projectiles. Both will come in the category of kinematics. Kinematics. After that, kinetics of rigid bodies. Plane motion. Actually, this is the fundamental course to theory of motion, sir. Okay, we need to do instantaneous center method, na velocity analysis of kinematic chains. Okay, before going to study that, you need to know what is the relative velocity approach and what is meant by rolling, how to incorporate all the velocities. Okay, so you will cover that part in the plane motion chapter. Projectiles, it's a range, set of formulae are there, we need to derive everything, but we need to relate this chapter with fluid mechanics course. It is a fundamental course. Engineering mechanics is a fundamental course. Everything will come. Solid mechanics topics will come. Fluid mechanics topics will come. Okay, na? So we need to build our fundamentals by attending engineering mechanics course. Okay, so here collisions, kinetics of rigid bodies in the sense D'Alembert's principle, work energy method, impulse momentum equation. Once you become expert in impulse momentum equation, you will feel good when you study pipe bends and impact objects in fluid mechanics course. That is the key actually. You are in position to apply impulse momentum equation. Okay, next collisions. Collision, it is, I think you already studied this part in intermediate for JEE main syllabus. Of course, you studied this thing in around 10th class, I guess. Okay, so collisions is very simple topic. We are having elastic collision and inelastic collision. What are the derivations? Simple topic. But you are having set of questions in GATE. Law of conservation of energy. It's a wonderful topic. So you are having good questions regarding law of conservation of energy. Center of gravity of the body put together is this. Center of gravity of the body and centroid of the cross section. Okay, center of gravity of the body. Okay, here complex bodies will be there. How to determine center of gravity of the complex body. Similarly, complex section. Okay, so once you know center of gravity, you can happily calculate mass moment of inertia. Once you know centroid, you can happily calculate area moment of inertia. Okay, so here moment of inertia in the sense moment of mass is called mass moment of inertia. Moment of area is called area moment of inertia. Finally, virtual work. It is a put together. I think we need around. Wait a second. Fine. I think put together around 40 hours required. Will help change. Okay. Yeah. So I think actually my way of teaching is that link between the subjects topics is very important. After that, nowadays students are not having good fundamentals. Okay, so when we teach strength of material course, students don't know about support reaction calculations. Okay, so that is why I build all the courses in a particular order. First, we need to teach support reactions in engineering mechanics course. After that, that particular strength of material, SFD, BMD. So everything is interlinked. That is why some students not having fundamentals in mathematics. That is why I am teaching engineering mathematics also. Okay, first we need to build the fundamentals in the students. That is my main motto. Once you know all fundamentals, GATE is very simple. Similar type of questions will come in GATE for sure. But due to lag of fundamental only, these people not able to crack GATE. Okay, so I think hopefully some matured students can understand these particular things. One more thing I want to tell. Engineering mathematics course, it is not basic mathematics course. We need to study what are the fundamentals or what are the principles required in our technical courses. Okay, mathematical principles are required in our technical courses. Those mathematical principles we need to relate with the technical subject. Okay, that is my main motto of introducing engineering mathematics course. Okay, everything is technical. Okay, so you need to build the fundamentals. In that regard, engineering mechanics is a fundamental course. Here all the topics will come, total design will come here. Okay, So then you will build the subject slowly. Okay, so that is very very important. Okay, na? So here hope you understood. I will give time to write the content. Feel that it is an offline class. I will give time and everything you need to write notes. Okay, pakka. Okay, completed. Allow to return. First write down the contents, then we can start introduction. Okay, 15 minutes over. Okay, no need to hurry actually. Slowly you will get content. Okay, first write down the contents. Introduction, system of forces. This I think to get this introduction, one lecture is enough. Today we will complete first chapter. From tomorrow onwards, so actual thing will come. In every course, I plan to explain some interview questions regarding the course. Okay? Definition of engineering. Right now, engineering. After that, mechanics. Next, engineering mechanics. Engineering mechanics. Engineering is an, first write down engineering. Engineering is an application of mathematical, social, economical principles are used in order to give a technical solution to the practical problems. That is machine design, design of softwares, transportation, construction, communication, etc. Okay, na? Engineering is an application of mathematical, social, economical principles are used in order to give a technical solution to the practical problems. We are building all mathematical principles in order to give a technical solution to the practical problem. That is the role of an engineer. Okay, so I already posted one video regarding engineering and role of engineering. You can go through it. Now, mechanics. Write down, it is very important. Write down mechanics. Mechanics is the branch of classical mechanics. Here, you can write directly engineering mechanics, both are fine. Engineering mechanics is the branch of classical mechanics, which deals with the study of behavior of the bodies with the state of rest or motion, with and without considering causes of motion, that is force and couple. Engineering mechanics is a classical mechanics. Whatever the mechanics you are studying in total engineering, it's a classical mechanics. Physics people will study quantum mechanics. Okay, na? There are so many wave mechanics is there, quantum mechanics, nuclear mechanics. Okay, na? So those things not required for engineering student. We need to focus on the classical mechanics. Engineering mechanics is a classical mechanics which deals with the study of behavior of the bodies with the state of rest or motion, okay, with and without considering causes of motion, that is force and couple. Okay. This is the definition of the course. Clear? Engineering mechanics is a classical mechanics. Right now? What is the classification of engineering mechanics? First, engineering mechanics is basically classified into solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. Fluid mechanics. Solid mechanics again classified into mechanics of rigid bodies. It is nothing but rigid body mechanics, mechanics of deformable bodies. Mechanics of deformable bodies. Here, mechanics of rigid bodies basically classified into statics, dynamics. Dynamics again classified into kinematics, kinetics. Mechanics of deformable bodies basically classified into theory of elasticity and theory of plasticity. Okay. Theory of elasticity is nothing but strength of material force. Okay. All the bodies, okay, all calculations in strength of material force valid up to proportionality limit. Okay, na? So everything in the elastic region. Okay. Theory of plasticity in the sense metal forming calculations. Metal forming calculations. All metal forming calculations are in plastic region. Okay. So here fluid mechanics. Here it is fluid statics. Fluid statics. Fluid dynamics. Here kinematics. Fluid kinematics. Fluid kinematics. Fluid kinetics. This is all about engineering mechanics. It is a mother course. Okay, na? So in engineering mechanics, solid mechanics will come, fluid mechanics will come. Here, solid mechanics again classified into mechanics of rigid bodies. It completely rigid body mechanics, but according to your syllabus, na, GATE syllabus, all Indians are following same syllabus. Engineering mechanics in the sense, this is the syllabus. Engineering mechanics means this is the particular syllabus. Rigid body mechanics. All bodies in engineering mechanics course assumed to be rigid body as per the syllabus. Actually, strictly speaking, engineering mechanics in the sense solid mechanics and fluid mechanics. Okay? So in your syllabus, you kept only rigid body mechanics as a beginner. After that, mechanics of deformable bodies, the strength of material course. So total strength of material course will come under theory of elasticity. Theory of plasticity in the sense total metal forming, na, rolling, everything will come under metal forming. Okay, all calculations are in plastic region. I think afternoon session you will discuss in detail about fluid mechanics. Okay, fluid statics, dynamics, kinematics and kinetics. Now write down engineering mechanics is a branch of classical mechanics which deals with the study of behavior of the bodies. With the state of rest is called statics or motion dynamics, with and without considering causes of motion. Without considering causes of motion is called kinematics. With considering causes of motion is called kinetics. Single definition, almost statics covered, kinematics and kinetics also covered. Okay, na? Kinematics, statics in the sense study of behavior of the bodies with the state of rest. Okay, or motion in the sense dynamics. Without considering causes of motion, kinematics. With considering causes of motion, kinetics. Okay, so engineering mechanics and its classification. Okay, we defined engineering. We defined engineering and mechanics. Engineering mechanics definition also over. Now focus on the solid and fluid. Okay. So what is the definition of solid and fluid? Next, what is the attractive topic in solid mechanics? Stress. Fluid. What is meant by pressure and stress? Pressure and stress. After that, what is meant by rigid body? Okay. Next, statics, dynamics, kinematics, and kinetics. Okay. After that, force, couple, classification of the couples. What are the classification of the couples? Bending moment, na coupler moment. Bending moment, twisting moment. Bending moment versus twisting moment. Okay. So what are the different forces required? Then you will get some idea about the forces and effects. Okay. So then you will go into deeper. First, we need to start one by one to build the fundamentals. I think you have written this. Put it fluid versus solid. First, write down fluid here. Next, solid. Write down fluid. Fluid is a substance which deforms continuously under the action of shear force due to presence of viscosity. Write down. It is a fluid ground. Okay. So you are applying a shear force like this. A dash, A double dash, A triple dash. Okay. B, B dash, B double dash, B triple dash. Okay. Here, fluid is a substance which deforms continuously under the action of shear force. It is due to presence of viscosity. Now, solid. Write down solid. F, it is A, this is B. A dash. Again, solid is the substance which deform instantly under the action of shear force. First write down here, fluid is the substance which deforms continuously under the action of shear force due to presence of viscosity. Here, solid is the substance which deform instantly under the action of shear force. Okay. Here, why continuous deformation we need to discuss here? This particular instant deformation. Due to continuous deformation, rate of deformation will occur. Rate of deformation will occur. It results rate of shear strain. That is why shear stress directly proportional to the rate of shear strain. Here, rate of shear strain equivalents to velocity gradient du by dt. Finally, tau equivalents to mu into du by dy. This particular equation came from the definition of the fluid. In fluid, continuous deformation will occur due to presence of viscosity. Due to continuous deformation, rate of deformation will occur. It results rate of shear strain. That is why shear stress directly proportional to rate of shear strain in case of fluids. Here, instant deformation it results shear strain. That is why shear stress directly proportional to shear strain, tau equal to G phi. This is Hooke's law. Clear na? Tau equal to G phi. Hooke's law, tau equal to mu into du by dy. This is Newtonian law. Clear? Why rate of shear strain equal to velocity gradient? We can discuss in fluid mechanics course viscosity topic. Okay? So why rate of shear strain equivalents to velocity gradient? Here fluid versus solid. Here fluid is nothing but first definition is very important. After that, from definition, how Newtonian law came. Okay, I think you can see 1 or 2 questions in competitive exams. In fluids, shear stress directly proportional to rate of shear strain. Okay, here shear stress directly proportional to shear strain. This is the difference between fluid and solid. Okay. Next item, and stress. What is the definition of pressure? See here, pressure. Write down. Pressure at a point defined as the magnitude of external load acting per unit area of cross section. What about stress? Stress at a point defined as the magnitude of internal resistance offered by the body per unit area of cross section. Pressure is nothing but external load acting per unit area of cross section. Stress, internal resistance offered by the body per unit area of cross section. Okay. Pressure at a point defined as the magnitude of external load acting per unit area of cross section, and stress at a point defined as the magnitude of internal resistance offered by the body per unit area of cross section. What is the different definition for pressure? Tell me. Different definition for pressure. Here we need to start with molecular level. Okay. Pressure associated with the molecules. Pressure associated with the molecules. When these molecules strike the surface, velocity of the molecules will change. Due to change in velocity of the molecules, change in momentum coming to picture. We know that the rate of change in momentum is nothing but force. The magnitude of this particular force acting per unit area of cross section is called pressure. pressure always compressive in nature. Okay, so anyone can give this definition. Pressure at a point defined as the magnitude external load per unit area of cross section. But how this force came, that decide your thing. Okay, na? So I repeat, pressure associated with the molecules. When these molecules strike the surface, velocity of the molecules will change. Due to change in velocity of the molecules, change in momentum coming to picture. The rate of change in momentum is nothing but force. The magnitude of this particular force acting per unit area of cross section is called pressure. Okay, pressure always compressive in nature. And according to Pascal's law, pressure at a point equal in all the directions. That is why pressure is independent of the direction. Then you can say pressure is a scalar quantity. Stress, coming to stress. Stress is a second order tensor. Second order tensor. We know that scalar is a zero order tensor. Vector is a first order tensor. In that category, stress is a second order tensor. Okay, here order business is what? Scalar means only magnitude is sufficient. Vector means both magnitude and direction. We need to move little higher order. To represent the stress, total 9 components are required. To represent the stress, total 9 components: sigma xx, tau xy, tau xz, sigma yy, sigma zz, tau yz, tau yx, tau zx, tau zy. 3 by 3, sigma n 3d. For triaxial state of stress condition, we need to represent the stress at a point in 3 by 3 matrix. That is why we can call this particular thing as second order tensor. But pressure is a zero order tensor, that is scalar. I think you know the examples of second order tensor. Moment of inertia, either mass moment of inertia or area moment of inertia. Rotation, image. Rotation and image are orthogonal tensors. Determinant of orthogonal tensor is +1, rotation tensor. -1, image tensor. Okay. Transformation is a combination of both rotation and translation. Rotation is a second order tensor, translation is a first order tensor, transformation is a third order tensor. We need to represent transformation in 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, so that is all about second order tensor. We can discuss that particular tensor business in the engineering mathematics course. Okay, that is tensor algebra. Okay, so here stress is a second order tensor. We need to represent stress tensor in 3 by 3 matrix. One more thing, how to give both definitions in a single shot. Okay, na? Due to pressure, stress can be induced. Okay, na? Due to stress, pressure can't be developed. One more thing, if I pressure you, you will feel stress. That feeling should come from internally, pressure applied externally. Okay, na? So pressure at a point always compressive in nature. Stress at a point, it may be tensile or compressive. It depends on the loading condition. Okay, that is the thing. So we discuss. I think I already posted one video regarding pressure versus stress and the fluid versus solid. Just to go through it, then you will get complete picture about pressure and the stress. Just to watch that video, you will get it. Okay, na? So this is all about fluid versus solid and pressure versus stress. Okay, now you can start the course. Okay, so start with mechanics. Put heading mechanics. Right? Mechanics. Mechanics is the branch of Mechanics is the branch of science, or engineering. Mechanics is the branch of classical mechanics. No issue. Mechanics is the branch of science which deals with the study of behavior of the bodies, study of behavior of the bodies. Mechanics is the branch of science which deals with the study of behavior of the bodies with the state of rest. With the state of rest is called statics here. With the state of motion, you can call it as a dynamics. With and without, without considering causes of motion, without considering causes of motion, that is kinematics. With considering causes of motion, with considering causes of motion, this is kinetics. Okay, this is all about the definitions of statics, dynamics, kinematics, and kinetics. Any problem? Okay. Video quality okay na? Fine. Okay, so here mechanics basically classified into statics and dynamics. Again classified into kinematics and kinetics. For example, kinematics definition. Kinematics is the branch of classical mechanics which deals with the study of motion of the rigid bodies without considering causes of motion, that is force and couple. Any problem? What happened? So this is the with considering causes of motion is called kinetics. Understood na? Next, you have written force and couple na. First put a force. Yeah, without considering causes of motion, that is force and couple. Okay, now put a force. Clear? Can I rub this? Write down force. Force is an action which tries to change the state of the body. Write down. Force is an action which tries to change the state of the body. Which tries to change the state of the body. Okay? Here we are having different forces. Okay? So you will get complete picture about forces when we teach free body diagrams. What is meant by free body diagrams? Free body diagram. A diagram which is drawn for the body and it is representing all the forces which are acting on that particular body. We need to incorporate whatever the different forces which are acting on that particular body. That is called free body diagram. For that, you should have full command on the all the forces which will come in engineering mechanics course. We can discuss in detail about force when we start free body diagrams chapter. Okay. Now, put it in couple. Yeah, couple. Couple or moment. Write down couple or moment. Here you will get bending moment, bending moment and twisting moment. Bending moment and twisting moment. Now question will come. Okay, what is the difference between bending moment and twisting moment? What is the difference between bending moment and twisting moment? Put it in first, bending moment. Here you should know one thing. What is the definition of bending moment? Actually, it is a moment. Okay, na? So to create a moment to equal in magnitude and unlike forces are required. What are the name of those two forces? To create a bending moment and twisting moment, we need to discuss in detail. Okay, na? Okay, first put heading bending moment. It is very popularly asked question in the interview. What is the definition of bending moment? What is the definition of twisting moment? You know how to draw bending moment diagram and twisting moment diagram, torque loading diagram. But you should know the definition of bending moment and twisting moment. Write down bending moment. Bending moment. Here, see this. Keep X, Y, Z. No issue. Here it is mx. This will be my. Okay. Just for time being, keep mz later. Okay. So here bending moment. Write down the definition. Bending moment is a couple which is acting perpendicular to the cross section of member. Okay, bending moment is a couple which is acting perpendicular to the cross section of member. See mx is a bending moment. Mx is a bending moment which is acting perpendicular to the cross section of the member. Similarly, my also acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. Okay, bending moment is a couple which is acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. Here mx and my called as bending moment. Now, what are the different forces required to create bending moment and twisting moment? Twisting moment later. Now we need to discuss what are the name of those two forces required to create bending moment. See here. Take one rectangular cross-sectional member. Rectangular cross-sectional member. See this. Take. Now, here. What is the name of this force? Tell me. Thus, here, this. ठीक है? So here we can call it as a vertical transverse shear load. Here it is vertical transverse shear load. We can call it as a shear force. Okay, shear force. What is the definition of the shear force? Vertical transverse shear load is nothing but shear force. Okay, so to equal in magnitude and unlike vertical transverse shear loads will create a moment which is acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. Okay, now the moment which is acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. It is x-axis, this is mx. So here it is a shear force F. The distance between these two will be L. You can call it as F into L. F into L. Clear na? So to equal in magnitude and unlike to vertical transverse shear loads will create a moment which is acting perpendicular to the cross section of the member. That is why you can call it as a bending moment. Now see the second case. Here again, this is called horizontal transverse shear load. Horizontal transverse shear load. Horizontal transverse shear load. To equal in magnitude and unlike horizontal transverse shear loads. Okay. Okay, horizontal transverse shear load will create a moment like this. Will create a moment. Okay, sorry. Here, one is horizontal transverse shear load. This is another one. To equal in magnitude, unlike horizontal transverse shear loads, will create a moment. This moment is acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. It is an axis Y and my. Okay, it is mx. The length will be L, then you can call it as F into L. This is a bending moment. Bending moment. Now, see here. See this? Clear? Now, here one load is acting. One load is acting here, outward. Clear? Another load. This is called eccentric axial tensile load. Eccentric axial tensile load. One more load is acting here. Okay. This is eccentric axial compressive load. Okay. So here one load is acting like this, another one is acting like this. Okay. So then you will get a moment about which axis, tell me? Here. This. Okay now. So outward. This is inward. Okay, inward. The cross section. Outward, inward. It is the moment which is acting. To equal in magnitude and unlike eccentric axial loads will create a bending moment in the bar. Okay, bending moment in the component. So now you can call it as P. It is B. I think we can make it D. It is B. Then moment is creating this particular thing. Mx equal to B into T. So to equal in magnitude and unlike eccentric axial loads will create a bending moment in the component. And to equal in magnitude and unlike vertical transverse shear loads will create a bending moment, and horizontal transverse shear loads will create a bending moment. Bending moment is a couple which is acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. Okay. In this particular case, we need to take IXX, XX as a neutral axis. Here, YY. This as the neutral axis. How to determine the magnitude of bending stresses induced in the component due to bending moment? We can discuss in the bending stresses chapter in strength of material course. I think in all the cases you people are studying bending stresses in this particular case. In all textbooks, bending moment will be mx only. You never discussed about my. If my is acting, then how to determine the magnitude of bending stresses we can discuss in bending stress chapter. Okay, this is all about bending moment. Bending moment is a couple which is acting perpendicular to cross section of the member. Now put heading twisting moment. Okay. Sorry. See here. X, Y, Z. This mz is called twisting moment. Right now, twisting moment is a couple which is acting parallel to cross section of the member. Right now, twisting moment is a couple which is acting parallel to cross section of the member. Okay. Now, here it is eccentric vertical transverse shear load. Eccentric vertical transverse shear load. Vertical transverse shear load. This is z axis. It will create a moment. It will create a moment like this. This is mz is nothing but twisting moment. To equal in magnitude and unlike eccentric vertical transverse shear loads will create a moment in the component. That moment is acting parallel to cross section of the member. That is why we can call that moment as twisting moment or torque. Now, here here, this particular thing, ठीक है, horizontal transfer shear loads, ठीक है, that is it. Eccentric horizontal transfer shear loads, eccentric horizontal transfer shear load, so equal in magnitude and unlike eccentric horizontal transfer shear loads will create a twisting moment. Okay now, so this is very important while solving problems. So you should know the definition of bending moment and twisting moment. What are the name of the forces required to create bending moment and twisting moment? Okay, be clear in that. Here, what are the name of the different forces? This is vertical, eccentric vertical transfer shear load. This is also to equal in magnitude, and unlike eccentric vertical transfer shear loads will create a moment which is parallel to the cross section, then you can call it as a twisting moment. Twisting moment or torque. Okay, this is all about twisting moment and bending moment. What are the different forces required to create bending moment and twisting moment? Okay, na? Next, bending equation, torque equation, how to determine the stresses, shear stresses and bending stresses, we can discuss in the strength of material course. It is a basic course. We need to know the definition of bending moment and twisting moment. Next slide down. Draw this figure. I think this question came in GATE for civil engineering students. Feel that this is the rod lever A, B, C. ठीक है, it is F1. One load is exactly acting downward. This will be F2. One load is acting like this. ठीक है, F3. ठीक है ना? So first draw this figure. Feel this is the wall. One rod inserted into the wall. This thing came out of the board. This thing came out of the board. Okay. So one load is acting like this. F1 out of the board. One load is acting F1, F2. Okay. Sorry, out of the board. One load is acting F1, F2 and F3. Okay. So this is the thing. F1, F2 and F3. Okay. So now we need to discuss what are the effects of the forces. What is the effect of F1, F2, F3 on lever and rod? First focus on the F1. Okay? Effect. First name of the force. The force. First focus on F1. Effects and results. What is the effect on? Effects effect on rod, lever. First you can write lever and then rod. Lever and then rod. Okay? No issue. That doesn't matter. Here it is F1. Okay? First F1. F1. Okay, lever in the sense this is the lever. Okay. Here it is acting F1. It is acting F1. What is the name of the load? F1 with respect to lever, tell me. It is a axial load. You can call it as a axial load. Now rod. So it is a, what is the name of the load? F1 with respect to rod, horizontal transverse shear load. This particular thing is a, it is F1. You can call it as a horizontal transverse shear load. Clear? Horizontal transverse shear load. So what is the reaction force here? This is the reaction force. Reaction force at A is nothing but F1. F1. It will create a moment. It will create a moment about this particular axis. Moment about this particular axis. Length of the rod. Length of the lever. So what is the bending moment here? Tell me. F1 into length of the rod. Okay. So what is the effect of F1 on the rod? Tell me. Rod subjected under bending moment. Lever subjected only on the axial load. What is the result of this? Tell me. What is the result of this? Axial and tensile stresses. Axial stresses induced in the lever. That equals to F1 by pi by 4 TL square. F1 by pi by 4 D, diameter of the lever square. Okay. So what about rod? Tell me. It will subject under bending stresses. Bending stresses is equal to tell me 32 M by 5 dr cube. Okay. So those things we can discuss later. This will be My. So how to calculate the stresses we can discuss in strength of material course. For time being, focus on the loads. What are the different loads, and because of that what is happening? Okay. So due to equal in magnitude and like horizontal transverse shear loads will create a bending moment in the component. What is the effect of bending moment here? Bending stresses. Now focus on F2. Now focus on F2. First write down that. Write here F2. This is F2 now. We need to transform the force. Transform the force from here to here. Okay? One upward force and downward force. F2, F2. Okay? So downward force and upward force creating a couple. This is the moment. Okay? So moment F is equal to F2 into length of the lever. Because of F2, lever will subject under bending moment. Okay? But this bending moment is twisting moment for the rod. Okay, here. F2 na. It is what? What is the name of the load? What is the name of the load here? Vertical transverse shear load. This is eccentric vertical transverse shear load. To equal in magnitude and unlike vertical transverse, eccentric vertical transverse shear loads will create a twisting moment. Here, this particular thing will be, we can transfer from here to here. We already done it. So you cancelled these two and it will create a twisting moment to this F2 into length of the lever. Okay, so F2 into length of the lever will be twisting moment to the rod, bending moment to the lever. Okay, so this is lever and rod. Clear na? So some reaction force will be there. Reaction force at A is nothing but F2, length of the rod. Then what is the magnitude of bending moment? Tell me. Here it will be created. Moment will be created here. Moment will be created here. That is nothing but what is the moment here? Tell me. F2 into length of the rod. Length of the rod. It is fixed support na. So now we can say. Lever subject under bending moment, bending stresses will be induced. Here, lever bending stresses is nothing but 32 m by pi dl cube. Here m is nothing but F2 into length of the lever. Okay na? So bending stresses will be induced in the lever. Next, here torsional stresses and bending stresses. Here rod will be subject under both torsion and bending. Bending is nothing but, bending stresses are nothing but 32 m by pi dr cube. Here torsional stresses equal to 16t by pi dr cube. M is equal to T is equal to F2 into length of the lever. Okay? So you need to observe one thing here. Calculation of the stresses. Okay, anyhow we need to discuss strength of material course, right? What is the effect of the different forces on lever and rod is very important. Here, axial load, horizontal transverse shear load, due to axial load, axial stresses, due to bending moment, bending stresses. Okay, to equal in magnitude, unlike horizontal transverse shear loads, will create a bending moment. Here also same thing. First, it will subject under bending. Bending moment on this will be acting as a twisting moment here, and F2 na, due to this rod will be subject under bending. Okay, so due to F2, lever will subject under bending, rod will be subject under both bending and torsion, both bending and torsion. ठीक है ना? So first drop to here. ఏది మొత్తం వెయిట్ fine. No issue. See here. Where is the thing? ठीक है, no issue. Duster unde. No issue. See here. First whole. It is very important question actually. Why? Because simple questions will come in strength of material course. If you know the type of forces na, then you can happily solve the problem. First, focus on F1. F1. Okay? F1 is axial load for the lever. Correct na? F1 is just one rod. This is outward. Rod outward. One lever is outward. 2D na? In 3D, it will be like this. Okay? One load is acting like this. In the sense, F1 is a axial load to the lever. Okay? Horizontal transverse shear load to the rod. Correct na? Horizontal transverse shear load to the rod. Axial load, horizontal transverse shear load to the rod. First focus on the names. F1 is axial load to the lever. Horizontal transverse shear load. Horizontal transverse shear load. First, see the name of the loads. Here, first, this is the thing. Axial load. This is called axial load. Exactly at the center. One load is acting like this, na? This is called vertical transverse shear load. Vertical transverse shear load. This is called horizontal transverse shear load. Okay? So if it is acting some eccentricity, eccentric vertical transverse shear load. Clear? Next, with some eccentricity here, this is the thing. Clear? One more thing. If you move like this, eccentric axial load. Clear? This is also eccentric axial load. Eccentric vertical transverse shear load. This eccentric horizontal transverse shear load. Very simple, man. Axial load, vertical transverse shear load, eccentric vertical transverse shear load, horizontal transverse shear load, eccentric horizontal transverse shear load. This particular thing is eccentric axial load. Axial load, vertical load, horizontal load. Transverse load, axial load. ठीक है? Horizontal transverse, vertical transverse, axial. That's it. So whatever the load is coming in total mechanical engineering or civil engineering, okay na? It will be come under one of the load. ठीक है? So due to this, what is happening here? ठीक है? So here F1 is axial load to the lever. Axial load to the lever. Axial load to the lever. Now F1 is horizontal transverse shear load na? It is what? Horizontal transverse shear load. Pakka. Due to axial load, axial stresses will be induced. Now, here one load is acting like this, reaction will come here. Clear? What is the magnitude of the moment here? Tell me. F1 into LR. F1 into LR. It will create a momentum. Okay, na? So now here, due to bending momentum, bending stresses will be induced. How to calculate the magnitude we can discuss in the strength of material course. Now you need to focus on name of the load and its effect. Name of the load and its effect. Axial load, here due to F1 na, bending moment will be created in the rod. Okay? Next, F2. F2 acting downward. It is a vertical transverse shear load. Vertical transverse shear load. We need to transform the force from here to here. Okay? So we need to introduce F2 and F2. These two will be cancelled out. Then it will come like this. So because of F2, lever will be subject under bending. Lever will be subject under bending. Okay, na? So here bending moment to the lever will become twisting moment on the rod. Okay, just now we discussed, right? To equal in magnitude, eccentric vertical transverse shear loads will create a twisting moment. Correct, na? So this is F2 is equal to eccentric vertical transverse shear load. So it will create a twisting moment. You transformed this force from here to here, then again rod will be subject under bending moment. No need to worry, you will get it at last. Strength of material na, so you should know how to draw axial loading diagram, bending moment diagram, twisting moment diagram. Okay, SFD, BMD, ALD, TLD for the particular question. This is unique question for total strength of material and EM. Okay, EM plus SOM. Okay, so I will start with this question at the end of after discussing around 120 hours. Okay, I will end up with this question only. Okay, no need to worry about it. Here we need to draw axial loading diagram, SFD, BMD, and TLD. Then corresponding stresses, state of stress diagrams, Mohr circle, everything you can draw for this particular question. This question is enough. Okay, we can explain 2 courses in the question. All the topics will be covered here. Once you able to design one rod and lever, finally you can apply theories of failure also. Okay, rod, lever, enough. No need of designing machine. Just design one rod and lever, corresponding load, enough. Okay, your 2 courses will be over. Okay, so for that as a basic thing. Okay, next, understood na? Understood? Understood or not? Comment. Fine, fine. How many joined? Fine. Actually, these people are not having classes parallelly. No issue, no issue. Is it okay? Done. Next, write down F3. F3. Here it is F3, lever, okay na? So here it is what? F3, F3, we need to transform from here to here. This is the rod, okay? One F3, another F3 here, one this four. This is what? Horizontal transverse shear load. Horizontal transverse shear load. Okay, so this load and this will create a, to equal in magnitude, unlike horizontal transverse shear loads will create a bending moment. Correct na? So this is a bending moment in the lever. It is nothing but length of the lever, F3 into length of the lever. It is subject under bending. Okay, it is subject under bending. Now rod. So this transformation, see here, F3 is acting outward, right? Once you transform this F3 from here to here, it will become axial load to the rod. Here F3 is axial load to the rod, and moment is acting like this now. So equal in magnitude, unlike eccentric axial load. Okay, na? So here this particular thing F3 will become eccentric axial tensile load. You need to transform this from here to here. This is moment on this F3 into length of the lever. This is length of the rod. Okay. So due to F3, rod will be subjected under bending moment. Okay. It is also bending and corresponding it is axial load. Here bending stresses in the lever is nothing but 32 m by pi d. This is lever na L cube. Here bending stresses in the rod 32 m by pi dr cube and axial tensile stresses in the rod F3 by pi by 4 d. This particular thing is r square. So this is the thing. Clear na? Here m is equal to F3 into length of the lever. M is equal to F3 into length of the lever. Okay? This is all about some funda. Just we started the definition of bending moment and twisting moment. Then we discussed all bending moment and twisting moment. Clear na? So you should know the definition of bending moment and twisting moment. What are the different loads required to create bending moment and twisting moment? Here same thing na. Eccentric axial loads will create a bending moment in the component. It is a F3 is a eccentric axial tensile load with respect to the rod. Horizontal transverse shear load with respect to the lever. So once you transform this force from here to here to equal in magnitude, unlike horizontal transverse shear loads, will create a bending moment in the lever. Here same thing na. So eccentric axial load we need to transform it. So here eccentric axial load will become axial load. Okay, once you transform it. So this type of problems we can solve in the bending stress chapter. Okay. So this is all about some funda regarding bending moment and twisting moment, fluid and solid, stress, pressure, some fundamental definitions of the engineering mechanics. Now write down. Okay. Now, so we discussed some fundamental definitions. I think this is the introduction class. So now we can discuss one last topic regarding stress tensor. Okay, stress tensor. Here, sigma 3d is equal to sigma xx tau xy tau xz sigma yy sigma zz tau yz tau yx tau zx tau zy. Okay now, you people are calculating eigenvalue and eigenvector for the matrix. Okay, what is the physical significance of eigenvalue and eigenvectors? Tell me. Lambda 1 comma lambda 2 and lambda 3. These are the eigenvalues. Eigenvalues nu1, nu2 and nu3 are the eigenvectors. Eigenvectors. What is the physical significance of eigenvalues and eigenvectors? Please comment there. Anybody knows, please comment. Huh? What happened? What is the physical significance of eigenvalue and eigenvectors? Here, eigenvalue. Here, see this. If this much amount of stress induced at a point, the magnitude of the stretch in three mutually perpendicular direction given by eigenvalues. The magnitude of the stretch. These all are directions of stretch. Directions of stretch given by eigenvectors. In which direction the stretch is occurred is nothing but eigenvectors. Okay, so here this will give principal stresses sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3. So this is small thing. Second order stress is a second order tensor. You can discuss in detail about the stress in strength of material course. Actually, I will treat all the courses as single unit. Okay, so we need to build the link between the subjects. Okay, so as a introduction, we discuss some fundamentals regarding engineering mechanics. I think this class you got boundary of the syllabus. You have not at all started GATE coaching. Okay, this is an introduction class. GATE class is different. Okay, so it is just an introduction class. Just you need to give some motivation to the students. You need to build some fundamentals. Okay, one thing for sure, you should know whatever the thing we discussed in the class. Okay, so if you are matured enough, you can attend all the classes. Okay, so this is just an introduction class. We discussed about boundary of the syllabus, what are the contents we need to cover. Okay, then after that we started with some fundamental definitions like engineering mechanics, and then fluid, solid, stress, pressure, moment. Okay, bending moment, twisting moment. I will provide you the content immediately. Whatever the thing we discussed till now, I will provide you the content. If you have any doubt in the lever and rod, no need to worry about it. We can discuss more in the strength of material course. Okay, so this is all about, this is some funda. So we can discuss this part in the engineering mathematics class. Okay, so everything is interlinked. Okay, from tomorrow onwards we can start our exact GATE content. Okay, so in every course I will start with introduction only. First I will give some funda regarding the course. That is my way of teaching in the sense. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards we can start system of forces. Okay, so I think it will take 3 lectures to complete system of forces. Today you may feel bored because you are not familiar to online. Okay, so if you have requirement and then need, you should have some patience to get knowledge. Okay, sit enough time, slowly you will get it. Anyhow, I will definitely provide you the recorded videos for sure. Okay, na? So whenever you get time, you can watch those videos. From tomorrow onwards, engineering mechanics will start from 8 to 10 for sure. Okay, so from 8 to 10, tomorrow we can start with system of forces. All our calculations, you won't feel bored. Once we solve some problems, you won't feel bored, even it is online for sure. Just to spend some time to get knowledge or to build the logic, it will take some time. We need to inject one logic in your mind. It will definitely take time. Have patience. After that, you can happily solve enough problems. Okay, don't focus on the solving 100 questions. Focus on how to solve all the questions by one logic. Focus on that logic. Then revision will be very simple. Okay, hope you will get it. But one thing I am requesting, so please attend all the classes sincerely. Okay. Okay, fine. We can meet in the next class. Next class will start from 10 to 12. Okay. So I think you will get the notification for strength of material course. So we can start strength of material. I have a lot of passion in teaching strength of material course. You will taste the subject for sure. Don't miss the classes. Okay. So we can meet at 10 o'clock. Thank you.